Hello, friends. The crew of a neutral merchant ship managed to record the intensity of the campaign of attacks that the Ukrainian mosquitoes are carrying out in the Black Sea. The ones that have a delta wing profile, but with front canard fins, which are similar to the Russian gerund. And you can see them as they fly at low altitude and directly over the deck of the ship that was filming the action while they were attacking other targets in the area. One of those targets matches the profile of the cargo ship Roro Nadezhda under the Cameroonian flag, which was hit in a multiple drone attack on August 3rd, approximately 30 nautical miles from the Russian port of Novorossiysk. The Ukrainian drones have been identified as belonging to the Shipment type, which are believed to have a range of about 3,000 kilometers. They seem to operate with deliberate precision, flying over the non-targeted ship without attacking, before continuing toward their chosen target. After a Ukrainian drone visited the position of a Grad battery, one of the 122mm rockets that was in the cargo box of a unit's truck, it went into party mode, sending the classic vehicle on an exciting but brief ride that only stopped thanks to the intervention of a tree on the launch route of the new Z Space Force's ship. But at least for a brief moment, its driver knew what it was like to be a cosmonaut of the motherland. Speaking of vehicles, in a new video published on August 10, we can once again see. Apparently, it's the Interdiction campaign of the new generation of medium-range mosquitoes, from the defenders operating behind the front lines, attacking the roads in the Russian rear, which have become dangerous corridors, lined with the charred debris of hundreds of vehicles. This campaign of attacks aims to logistically block southern Ukraine, thanks to the systematic use of growing swarms of medium-range attack drones, capable of operating at distances of up to 300 kilometers. Those that go after trucks, tankers, cargo vehicles, railway infrastructure, and transport assets along the corridors that connect Mordor with Crimea. By focusing on vulnerable and high-value logistical targets, instead of going after heavily defended fixed positions, Ukrainian operators cause cumulative attrition that progressively makes it harder for Russia to resupply frontline units and occupation forces. On the naval front, on the eve of August 7th, when Yalta City Day is celebrated, operators from Group 13, the elite special unit of Ukraine's defense intelligence, carried out an operation with combat platforms, Magura off the southern coast of the Crimean Peninsula, which consisted of a parade of a flotilla of unmanned surface vessels, sailing parallel to the shoreline and the beaches of the city. Reviving a military tradition from before the occupation, which consisted of a parade of a flotilla of warships to salute the city on its special day. According to the maps, the goal was to send a clear and simple message to the international community and also to the invaders, making it clear that Crimea is Ukraine. In the video, published by the Directorate of Military Intelligence, several multi-purpose naval drones can be seen. Magura sailing near the coast of Yalta, under a completely clear sky, with its onboard cameras capturing in great detail the hotels, coastal promenades, as well as the mountains and beaches of the city. Ukrainian vessels forced occupation authorities to order the evacuation of beaches and coastal areas, since Russian forces began firing at the formation of Ukrainian vessels, damaging at least one of them, which ran aground and was later neutralized by explosive ordnance disposal teams of the invaders. The Yalta parade represents much more than just a spectacle, as it illustrates the defenders' ability to project naval power in waters that Russia considers safe, interfering with civilian and military activities in an important tourist center, which is currently in the middle of the summer holiday season. In an example of the importance of advanced reconnaissance, operators from the 68th Dovush Air Assault Brigade neutralized a Russian BM-21 Grad multiple rocket launcher system that was attempting to deploy in the Suja area. The target was initially detected by the brigade's reconnaissance battery and was later attacked by the unmanned systems unit's drones. Dovish's Hornets caused a massive detonation of the launcher's ammunition, which eliminated the entire crew of invaders. The BM-21 Grad remains one of the most widely used area artillery systems by Russia, capable of saturating large areas with 122mm rockets in rapid salvos. Its mobility makes it a priority target for Ukrainian forces seeking to disrupt enemy fire support near the border. This attack allows us to see how the layered detection system works to prevent Russian units from establishing firing positions in border areas from which they could attack Ukrainian defensive positions. The 68th Brigade, originally formed as a light infantry unit in 2022, was reorganized as an airmobile unit in early 2026, and on multiple occasions it has highlighted on its social media the work of its Mosquito Battalion, which has built a reputation for itself by seeking out high-value mobile systems from the Horde, including rocket artillery, in multiple sectors of the front. On the logistics front, the United States Department of State submitted a notification to its Congress on August 3rd, informing that Turkey had requested authorization to transfer a weapons package that includes 70 M39 ATACMS ballistic missiles, 12 M270 multiple launch rocket systems, and 2,524 M26 rockets, equipped with dual-purpose improved conventional munition cluster warheads and 47,000 M509A1 203mm conventional fragmentation artillery shells. This represents a .524 multiple launch .524 rockets, multiple launch M509A1. The transfer, valued at approximately $280 million, requires approval from the United States because it was the country that originally sold that equipment to Turkey. The State Department indicated that it is willing to give the green light to the agreement, so it only needs approval of the sale from Congress, which has 15 days to respond. Although the transfer is expected to proceed without obstacles, which could allow deliveries to begin at the end of this month or the beginning of September. The 12 M270 launchers represent Turkey's entire operational inventory of this system. These platforms, with greater armor and capability than the wheeled HIMARS, can use both 227mm rockets and the full family of ATACMS missiles. The M39 ATACMS missiles, which are also included in the agreement, have a range of 165 kilometers and carry a 560-kilogram cluster warhead that disperses 950 M74 submunitions. Although they use inertial guidance instead of GPS, they are still effective against troop concentrations, air defense sites, and logistical nodes. The large volume of rockets for the HIMARS system will allow for a more intense pace of operations, which could be very useful for Ukraine in its effort to close the land corridor to Crimea. For their part, the 203mm artillery shells will allow for increased activity of the two S-7 Pion and M110 heavy self-propelled artillery batteries, which Ukraine operates and which had faced problems obtaining enough ammunition to operate consistently. Sometimes some of you are probably wondering, how is it possible that the Ukrainians keep fighting? Well, look, a journalist asks this soldier if he volunteered and why. He simply answers that his son died, and that's why he went to war. If you want to see additional content about the war in Ukraine, I invite you to visit our 2 new channels, where we present information about the war in a different format. Don't forget to check them out. Remember to visit our Patreon, where for just $1, you'll have access to a large number of uncensored videos and documentaries. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel.